Take two. You bet. Now we are live to a Darlington Raceway here tonight. Monday night, it's Real Racing League here tonight, and of course we've got 150 laps on the board. Been watching practice session here. Looks like it might be a long night, but we'll get to that here in just a minute. In the booth with me tonight, Rick Donathan along for the ride. Ron Day, he had some extracurricular activity he had to take care of tonight. Working pit road for us tonight, Dakota Ehrman, Matthew Close. Matthew Close starting his duties here last week, I believe on Monday night. Welcome to the crew, Matthew, and of course the bad boy, Magic Fingers, the legend by any other means, John Westling, pushing the buttons on the cameras for you tonight. But Rick, let's go back to Talladega last week. 3 to go. Chalmers Parker looked like he had it in the bag, and then a caution comes out.
That's right, caution came out, and from my understanding, it looks like Guy Snyder ended up with win there, JD.
You bet, and you know, a lot of cars got involved in that last caution. Of course, with the 3 to go, and not enough laps to terminate the race under green, so they finished basically under caution behind the pace car. Guy Snyder taking a trophy home from Talladega last week. Chalmers Parker did get a second-place finish, podium finish, and Nathan Bowers, a name we haven't seen at the top of the list for some time, going home with a third-place trophy from Talladega last week. But, Rick, why don't we go ahead and take them down through the points here and let them know who's who and who's where here at the Full Throttle Cup Series here at Real Sim Racing League. At the top of the pile, Landon Huffman, 378 points. He's still hanging out there at the top. Finished 7th at Talladega last week. Chad Cole with a top 10 finish at Talladega as well. He's 12 points in back of Landon Huffman.
That's right, and I'll tell you what, you got Guy Snyder that's third place right now with 364 points, just 14 points behind the leader of Landon Huffman. And I tell you what, he's getting closer and closer, and going to try to put some pressure on Landon Huffman. In fourth, we've got John Abbott at 341 points, just 37 points behind Landon.
And then in fifth position, guys, John Gregorio. Now, he started out good at Talladega last week, I believe, but 24th position, not quite what he was hoping for last week. Hoping for a better one here tonight. John Gregorio is 50 points off the lead. And in sixth position, Adam Roberts. Adam Roberts with a 17th place finish last week at Talladega. He's 58 points behind the leader.
You got Joseph Hayes that's in 7th spot right now with 303 to 75 behind Landon. And then in 8th place we've got Jeff Addison, 300 points, 78 points behind Landon. So good battle there between 7th and 8th.
You bet. And then in 9th position, Scott Brotherton. Scott, 81 points behind the lead. 12th place finish last week, just outside the top 10 at Talladega. John Hickman Jr., together with John Gregorio, not quite the finish that they were hoping for at Talladega, 27th place. In fact, I don't believe he even had an opportunity to finish that race last week. 85 points behind the lead, and that's going to round out your top 10 here at Real Sim Racing Full Throttle Cup Racing here on Monday night. But let's talk about the last time they were here at Darlington, Cowboy. I'll tell you what, Guy Snyder took the trophy home. I believe it was back in January this year. Chad Cole, who's also here tonight, finished second. Jeff Addison with a third-place finish. Jeff is also on the track here this time out. And then Greg Netherwood, I believe he is also here. The rest of the names not present here tonight at Darlington this time around. We'll call it the second time around, the second dance, I guess, with the lady in black. But looking for Guy Snyder, Chad Cole, and Jeff Addison could be strong finishers here tonight.
Absolutely, and I tell you what, just taking a look out here at practice, though, it looks like Landon Huffman is on his game today, JD, and tell you somebody to give him a run for the money there is John Gregorio. He's sitting second right now with Landon sitting in first place at practice, and of course R.J. Williams is running right there with third, so you got two teammates running up there in that top 5, and John Gregorio is right there in the middle of it.
You bet. Tough track here tonight. The lady in black claimed a bunch of victims here all week long. And a mile and a third track, and it's absolutely too tough to tame. But let's take it on down to pit road. Let's start out with Dakota Ehrman. Dakota, what are we hearing from the garage down there?
Well, right now the biggest concern tonight is going to be tires. If we go more than 8 to 10 laps, you're going to see drivers coming down like Landon Huffman tonight. But these tires are really important because the cars are pushing. They're getting really close to just not turning anymore is what it seems like to some of these drivers. But kind of talking to Landon Huffman before coming in, he said he felt really good about tonight. As you saw him top of board in practice, so far he's top of qualifying. He's going to be somebody to watch out for tonight, as he's really confident about tonight. He says he just wants to stay out of trouble. So keep your eyes on him, Matthew Close.
Hey, yeah, they said they can go about 60 to 65 laps on one tank of fuel, but we don't think we'll see them here with the cautions that we're expecting, and they're going to really want to come down and get those tires fixed. But before the race, we talked to Chad Cole, and we asked him what his plan was, and he said he's not too sure. This is only his second experience at Darlington. He said he's really got no plan for night on pit stops, and he doesn't know what he wants to do, but he knows he wants to be out front. Right now, he's second in qualify, and it looks like he might have an upwards night for himself here.
All right, Chad Cole with a second place finish last time out here, Rick. So I tell you what, Chad Cole setting himself up here for a good finish for sure.
That's right, and I tell you what, Chad Cole's been, he's had some bad luck in the last few races. He ended up in the middle of some skirmishes there and struggled to keep that car in the top 10. But, you know, I'm looking for him today to come out and be pretty strong today and possibly put that car in victory lane.
Absolutely, and again, Darlington Raceway here, guys. It's an old track built in 1949, one of the oldest on the NASCAR circuit, 1.3 mile in length, and it's a little bit narrower on one end than the other, so that kind of throws everybody for a loop here. Quite a bit different driving styles from one end of this track to the other. But right now, why don't we go ahead and take it down to trackside. The Cactus Cuties are standing by to present our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
All right, and we are back. The Cactus Cuties, I'll tell you, the best rendition of the national anthem that I have ever heard, guys. The Cactus Cuties, you can check them out over at cactuscuties.com. But we are here tonight, ETV Live, Darlington Raceway, as we get ready to get the ball rolling here. Qualifying on the front row, up here in front. No stranger to this front row, guys. Landon Huffman. Landon Huffman currently your points leader here in the Real Sim Racing Full Throttle Cup Series. On the outside of him in the number 2 spot in the 17 car, Chad Cole, who finished in the top 10 at Talladega last week, second at Darlington last January.
Starting third on the inside, number 21, R.J. Williams, and on the outside of him, starting fourth, the number 1, John Gregorio.
And in 5th position, Jeff Addison. He'll start in the inside in that number 94 machine. Outside him in the number 10, in 6th position, John Abbott.
Starting 7th, number 47, Eric Arnold. And starting 8th, number 44, Rob Bolin.
And starting in 9th position on the inside, Steven Ritter. On the outside in the number 33 car, David Lanza.
Starting 11th, number 26, Jonathan Cadell. And starting 12th, number 70, Jason Elrod.
Doug Roth will be starting on the inside in that 13th position in the number 43 car. In the number 76 on the outside in 14th position, Keith Brooks Jr.
Starting 15th, number 83, Jay Horton. Starting 16th, number 65, Ed Williams Jr.
And in 17th position, Joey Gattina. He'll be starting in that 14 machine on the inside. On the outside is going to be Chad Schilling in 18th position in the number 18 car.
Starting 19th, number 84, Jimmy North. And starting 20th, number 85, Nathan Bowers.
Greg Netherwood back in the 21st position in the number 27 machine. Starting on the outside of him in 22nd to 41, Chalmers Parker, who finished second at Talladega last week. Awesome job. And I'll tell you what, rounding out the field here, Bill Schoonover, Adam Roberts, Joseph Hayes bringing up the tail end of the field here tonight. 150 laps on board here, Rick. And I'll tell you, watching these guys through practice, every single one of them are in their A and B and C car tonight.
Yeah, I tell you what, JD, I believe I brought my lunch tonight because tonight's probably going to be a long night. 150 laps. Practice seemed a little like they were out on a slick track. So pace car is off the track and getting ready to go green there, JD.
You bet. And Huffman gets a good lead up here with Chad Cole up on the outside, filing into a single file run here, guys. I'll tell you what, the thing about this track, you got to race this track first, because if you don't, the lady's going to reach out and she will grab your, grab your stuff. As John Gregorio back here in that number 1 machine, 5th place back here, guys. He's got the 94 of Jeff Addis, who's just getting a little bit slippery here on the first turn here. Actually, coming off of turn 4 here, coming down the front stretch. But guys are already starting to shake them loose here a little bit, as the number 1 car of Gregorio is looking to go past R.D. Williams.
That's right, and I tell you what, Jeff Addison running strong out there, but I tell you, Landon with his teammate there, R.J. Williams, I believe I have an understanding that one of our guys on pit road said that probably going to start out a little slow. A lot of guys are going to give at early in the race, so maybe that's what Chad's doing, is just kind of sitting back and see what's going to take place from one lap to the next two, JD.
Ed Williams Jr. Running the apron down here. I'll tell you what, I think he peeled off and let them all go. Ed Williams Jr. in that 65 machine all the way back to 24th position. So don't know whether he's got some handling troubles with that car or just decided to back it down here a little bit, let all those guys go ahead of him, and then try to work his way through the carnage when it happens. But he's already tagging the wall coming off of turn 2 here, down the backstretch heading into turn 1.
Yeah, I was just watching John Gregorio there on that previous lap, and like he hit the wall there pretty hard on the passenger side going into turn 1 and 2, and kind of rode that wall all the way around until he got out of turn 2. But you know, I expect to see a lot of that happening today with the tires giving out, and we're going to start hearing a lot of cars banging the side of those walls out there. So I'm prepared to see that today.
And Steve Ritter position over Eric Arnold moves Steve Ritter up into 5th place, guys, as Eric Arnold in the 47 machine playing with the wall here, coming through turns 3 and 4 here, off turn 4 down the backstretch. And you know, during practice was noticing guys coming off of turn 2, Rick. That seems to be the danger zone as they come off turn 2. Oh, it's the 47 tags the wall again, coming through the turn here, but turn 2 seems to be the deadly spot here, not necessarily turn 4. We saw a lot of action the other day when we were here at Darlington off of turn 4, but tonight during practice, turn 2 seems to be the culprit.
Yeah, if you'll notice there, JD, when they go into turn 2, they're going to try to diamond off that corner there between turn 1 and 2. And when they hit that bottom apron there, if you go just a little too hard in that corner, it's kind of hard to get on the brake there and let that car coast. if you brake, you don't want to do that. You're going to lose momentum. And if you go into the corner too hard, you're going to smack the wall. So it's just a matter of timing of letting out of the throttle right before you hit that corner there. And you got to hit it perfect. As long as you hit it right, you pick up a lot of good time there.
And, you know, this track, the way it's configured, you watch these guys go around the track. Now, they go down into turns 3 and 4 here, and taking the track just a little bit wide up there against the wall, turns 1 and 2, a little bit different here at Darlington. You can take it right down to the apron line down there. But I'll tell you what, they're basically all driving pretty much the same setup here tonight as these guys, you know, sharing the data from garage to garage, but of course word has it coming out of the garage talking to Dakota and Matthew down there that these cars are starting out just a little bit tight, hoping that they'll loosen up here a little bit at Darlington. But I'll tell you what, you got to race this track first before you can start taking on the competition. Once you master the track, you know, you can start looking for that opportunity.
Absolutely, and I tell you what, just watching John Gregorio, it seems like he's getting the hang of this. Each lap he goes around, he's already moved up to 3rd position there, and it appears that he may be gaining on R.J. Williams a little bit there. It looks like he's found a groove that he needs to go into. He's getting good entries, good exits off the corners. Things are looking pretty good for him right now.
I was just watching R.J. Williams up here in 2nd position. You know, he's teammate for Huffman Racing up here. His teammate up there, Landon Huffman, of course, up there first with the 21 machine tagging the wall about a half a lap ago on the other side of the track. So I don't know whether RJ is in a hurry to get up to Landon's bumper and try to get the position yet or not, but I'll tell you, 11 laps in the books here at Darlington already as these guys work themselves way around. I'm seeing a whole lot of patience being displayed here, guys, as the 17 Chad Cole in 4th position gets a little out of shape coming off of turn 2.
Yeah, I tell you, I'm looking up here toward the front with Landon and RJ there, and you know, JD, I don't know if these guys are just kind of riding in the wind here, or if RJ's trying to make a move on his teammate Landon, but either way, these guys are running the number 1 and number 2 spot, so things are looking good for them. They're getting good exits out of the corners as well. R.J. Williams, I've seen a little bit of hesitation going into the corners. It looks like he's having a little bit of trouble going into turn 1 and hitting that fine line, but other than that, these guys are doing pretty good.
John Abbott going past the 33 of Lanza back there. As caution comes out for the first time here tonight, guys. We'll try to cycle around here and find out who the culprit is here at Darlington Speedway. Back this up on the monitor here a little bit. I'm hearing it's going to be, it looks like the 65 machine, guys. It's going to be Nathan Bowers going around here. Back it up here and take a look. Looks like somebody else might have gotten involved in that too. Hits the wall hard. Coming off of turn 2, guys, and goes spinning around, makes contact with I think that's a 44 car. Might have made a little bit of contact with the 44 car, but goes for an e-ticket ride down the backstretch for sure.
Well, I'll tell you what, JD, I believe earlier you was trying to say he was going to hit that hard wall, and I believe that wall is hard.
Yeah, it is. All right, let's take it on down to John, the bad boy Westling. Pulled it up on the E1. What do we got, John?
Hey, guys, let's see if we can see what happened here. He just got it right by himself. He smacks that outside wall. It's that safer barrier, and he's going to come right back across the nose of a car here, and then going to nose it back in the wall one more time. Going to take a pretty good liquor, guys, on the nose of this car.
Yeah, I think that's the 44 trying to get the binders on to woe that machine up, but just kind of broadsides them here and bounces off, and then takes a little bit of evasive action, and of course tags the 85 again and sends him spinning for that e-ticket ride down the backstretch here at Darlington. So first caution coming out here tonight, and I'm sure they'll all be heading down pit road. What do you think?
Yeah, I tell you what, I just saw those guys enter into pit road there, and maybe we can get a hold of Dakota or Matt down there and see what Landon and RJ's doing. And Matt, Dakota, either of you guys down there on pit road?
Hey, I'm down here. It's Matt. You see all the drivers are all coming down in the last 15 lap run. They're all going to grab 4 fresh tires and make a few adjustments. They're all saying their car's a little tight. They're throwing a little swing in the track bar, and they're going to head back out and hope that makes their cars run a little bit better.
Good deal.
And Doug Roth, who after those bonus points got his lead lap in here tonight, as he is going to work his way down pit road here and come in and get 4 new shoes and a bucket of oats for him. That's going to put Landon Huffman back out on the front row. And looking down the pit board here, guys, looks like the fastest pit stop so far, making a 12.1. Actually, 2 of them, John Abbott's crew and Landon Huffman's crew, 12.1 seconds pit stop here at Darlington, guys. So first caution coming out. Why don't we go ahead and step away? We'll take a commercial break right here, right now. You're watching live, ETV Live, Cowboy, the Real Sim Racing Full Throttle Cup Series from Darlington. So don't wander off. We'll be right back. We are back here at Darlington Raceway. The lady in black, she's already claimed a couple of victims here tonight already. Getting ready to get this thing fired up one more time. Landon Huffman out in front. He chose the bottom this time around. John Gregorio up on the outside. Chad Cole, Williams, Kevin Addison, who finished in the top 5 here last time out in January. He's in 5th position here on the restart. So the pace car has been pulled off. Getting ready to go green one more time as Landon Huffman picks it up and puts it down. And Chad Cole, easy on throttle there, my friend. I tell you what, Chad Cole looks like he either missed a shift or not quite sure what happened, but caution back out again here at Darlington as we roll back to the restart here. And something happened up here in front. Let's take it down to Magic Fingers. John, what do we got up on the E-Wine?
Now let's cue us back, guys, here all the way to the restart. See if we can see what happens. There's a big pile up here about 5 rows back here. And it looks like it's just going to be wheel spin. If somebody gets spun at that 10 machine, he's going to plow into the inside wall. Going to take a real hard lick, guys.
Yeah, I'm watching this restart again. The 21 gets out of shape along with the 17. Looks like the 17 might have spun the wheels a little bit, but the 21 certainly did. Goes into the wall, and then the 47 checking up behind him tags the wall here a little bit. And I don't know if it started up there, you know, all these guys back here taking evasive action, or everybody just, you know, hammered down on the throttle.
Well, I'll tell you what we're definitely going to see is a lot of correction made on our next restart. I believe a few guys learned a few things on that one there, but I tell you, Landon's going to be looking out his door there and seeing John Gregorio out to his outside, and of course Chad Cole right in behind him. But I did notice that R.J. Williams, he didn't get a good start on that either there, J.D.
No, you know, it looks to me like just a little bit too much throttle on the get-go here, and looked like what it looked like to me was a lot of tire spin. I would have said missed a shift, but usually when they miss a shift, you see them all kind of stack up behind you there a little bit. But I got a funny feeling it was just a little bit too much throttle when the green flag came down. Of course, the 10, I think the 10 definitely a little bit too much gas. Too much on the gas pedal on the restart here. But caution number 2 coming out here at Darlington, guys. I don't imagine there'll be too many of them come back down pit road, except for maybe to get some damage repairs.
Yeah, I tell you, I don't believe I see any of the top 5 or probably either the top 10 coming back in the pit there. Now, John Gregorio is riding that bottom line there, but I think he's just trying to kind of play with Landon there to make him think he's going to go down in the pits. But, yeah, I believe they're going to stay out, J.D.
And going all the way down to the back here, 24th position, guys, the 76 machine. There's a few of them in front of him come down pit road. Keith Brooks Jr. Down 3 laps here tonight, and we're only on 17 laps in the books here, so not quite sure what was going on with Keith Brooks. I don't have anything on him as far as being involved in a caution. Send it on down to the boys on pit road. Maybe they can dig that information up. But Keith Brooks already 3 laps down. It's going to be tough to get those back here at Darlington.
Yeah, you're right, JD. And I tell you, you know, we're only 21 laps into this thing, and we got quite a few laps to go. So, but yeah, Matt, you got some more?
Yeah, Keith Brooks, man, he hit that outside wall coming out of turn 2, it looks like, on lap number 4, and then took a hard hit inside. And then he had a pit under the green flag, and that put him a couple laps down while he's trying to get some of that damage repaired. Heavy, heavy damage on that 76 machine.
You know, and, you know, here again, I mean, this is Darlington, guys, and since 1949, the lady in black has claimed her victims, and they're all piled up down there behind the racetrack. That's that big old tall pile of sheet metal you see back there. But I tell you what, you know, you got to race this track first. You got to get comfortable with the different turns here at Darlington. Of course, the one end being a little bit narrower. Quite a story behind that. Back in 1949, Rick, when they built this track, this was on leased land, and the farmer that had a little minnow pond. I'm not sure what good minnows are. Certainly not good to throw in a frying pan. But he said, hey, you leave that little pond alone, so they had to build a racetrack around it. So hence the narrow turn down there on the other end of the track. But otherwise, it would have looked much like I believe it was turns 3 and 4. You know, would have been a little bit wider. So you know, this is what throws these guys for a loop. You know, it's relatively a short track, 1.33 miles, and as soon as you come off one turn, you get all set up, ready to go into another turn that isn't the same as the one you just came off of, like a lot of other tracks we raced. Getting ready to pick the green flag again as Landon Huffman gets an early jump on Gregorio on the top.
Tell you what, John Gregorio still holding his own there, looking strong as they go into turn 1. Chad Cole right in behind him. Looks like we got a good restart this time, but you know, the big question is, JD, let's see how long it takes for Landon Huffman to pull away from John Gregorio, and hopefully we'll see John Gregorio and Chad Cole start working together there and try to catch him and run him down.
Yeah, you bet. I'm you know, back here with Jeff Addison, that 94 machine, 5th position, as he's looked like he was getting a little bit loose off the turn, but backing off the throttle considerably here, guys. He's got about 15 car length up to R.J. Williams up here in that 21 machine. So the 94 car of Jeff Addison kind of backing off the throttle here for a little bit as we put 24 laps in the books here at Darlington. But single file all the way back, and that's pretty much what you're going to see tonight until these guys can catch up with the car in front of them. and then it's just follow the leader and try to look for that opportunity. You're usually going to come off turn 4 and try to get him on a straightaway. But I tell you, single file racing right now, all the way back to back.
I tell you what, back here looking at 5th and 6th position, the 94 of Jeff Addison and the 16 car of Steve Ritter. Those guys are getting some good entry points there and exits as well. So maybe those guys kind of team up there, maybe try to put those cars up toward the lead. This guy, I tell you what, take a look at that 94 car there, that NASCAR Hall of Fame car there, John, if you can get a shot of that.
That's going to be Jeff Addison. What a sharp looking car that is up here in 5th position here at Darlington. So Jeff Addison with an outstanding looking car. I'll tell you what, another good looking car is going to be that 65 machine back here in 20th position. Look at that ETV live all over that machine, John.
Yeah, JD, we got a lot of supporters of ETV starting to pop up everywhere at iRacing. Everywhere you look, it seems like there's a car with ETV live on it, and most of them have my Trent's mascot on it, Bad Boy, you know.
Oh, 65 almost.
Dog loose.
Oh, Ed Williams getting almost. Oh, and here comes the, is that the 10? I think that's the 10 car. John Abbott getting loose right here next to the 65 machine, guys. And I think the 65 broke loose coming off the turn. The 10's coming on strong as Ed Williams trying to correct it, get it back, and Abbott trying to get around and can't do it. They take, looks like they trade paint here just a little bit on the backstretch, and around goes Abbott. Go ahead, John.
Yeah, I'm pulling it up here, and there might be some slim chance that Ed Williams is listening to the broadcast while he's trying to drive. Because as we were talking about him, it looked like he got a little nervous there, guys. And he's going to come into the corner here, and he's going to get, he's just going to lose a handle on this car, and he just couldn't quite save it.
I tell you what there, John, I believe I'm going to have to agree with you. That he was doing a really good job getting some good entries and exits as well, driving that thing smooth around here. But I tell you, as soon as we started talking about that car, I just saw a big change in that driving in that car.
Yeah. I'm watching the 10 car again. I got to roll it back up, and I'm just kind of doing the slow-mo thing here. The 10 car, cuts way down on the apron to try to avoid the 65. Got a funny feeling he's got the throttle buried in that 10 machine, trying to get past that 65. But the 65 is still out of shape up there, up on the top. I think the 10 car just came up just a little bit too soon, as the 65 was still trying to get it back under control. But that's going to spin the number 10 machine out with a lot of damage to that machine. Now the 69 car up here also with damage, Rick. I'll roll this back again here and see what happened to the 69. Oh, I see what happened. The 69 comes upon the 10 and the 65 going around, jumps off the throttle, throws the back end out of whack here a little bit, I think. And I'll watch them when they come down. The 69 car comes upon the wreck, tries to take evasive action, gets down on that different racing surface down around the apron, and just spins it around. So no harm, no foul, 4 new shoes for him, and he'll be just fine.
Yeah, I don't believe he had made any contact with anything. He just don't believe he had anywhere to go. And I tell you, as soon as he hit that apron there, running about 140, 130 mile an hour. Well, it looks like in replays about 100 mile an hour when he hit that bottom apron. I'll tell you what, the way those cars are set up with those high embankments, it's definitely going to get loose when you hit that bottom apron like that, them kind of speeds.
You bet. And we've got a few of them coming back down pit road. Now it's only been about 10 laps, and a few of them coming down pit road here to get 4 new shoes and a bucket of oats for sure. Well, we'll go ahead and take it on down pit road and see if Matt and Dakota got anything for us, guys.
Well, the first person that we really paid attention to coming down pit road was John Gregorio out of the 2nd place position. We saw him hit the wall pretty hard on that last restart, and he came down, he put 4 fresh tires on it, hoping to get some of that damage repaired. And so we hope to see him make a charge towards the front. This is really kind of a story, because most of the drivers talk about being out front and how good track position is. that him being the first car down pit road might affect him a lot in this race and maybe get him caught up in an accident.
You bet. And I think, well, my numbers haven't corrected themselves on my data sheet here yet, but it almost looks like Greg Netherwood might have taken only 2 tires on that stop. I'm not quite sure. Maybe we can look that one up. But I'll tell you what, caution number 3 coming out here at Darlington. That's time to go check out the buffet table back here behind us. So I'll tell you what, Cowboy, we're going to go ahead and step away here for just a minute. ETV Live, the Real Sim Racers, live from Darlington Raceway. We'll be right back.
Hey dude, are you ready to rock and roll? If that's cool, then you need to do it over at HD Radio Network. HD Radio Network, 4 stations broadcasting 24/7 with everything from metal favorites to the 80s classic rock like legendary Leonard Skinner, Electric Light Orchestra, Foreigner, and bone-rattling, skull-crushing rock and roll on hard driving radio. And partnered with Nuff World Simulation Gaming, check out the HD Radio Network's Nuff Radio with Bear Factory, Stone Temple Pilots, Def Leppard, and a whole lot more. HDRadionetwork.com. Take your pick and rock your brains out, dude.
All right, we are back live here at Darlington. We had just taken the green flag, guys, and immediately back under caution here. And why don't we go ahead and throw it down to John, the bad boy Westling, for the E-wind.
Now, guys, I'm not even sure what happened on this one. I'm going to pull it back on the EY machine. It looked like another misshift or something. As the 94 car just spins his wheels and wipes out probably 5 or 6 cars here, guys. The one car involved, 94. There's a whole pile of them up behind it that's got minor damage, but that 94, I'm not sure what happened there, guys.
Yeah, Rick, you know, is that almost looks like just too much throttle at the green flag, spinning the tires, and it just cranks him around into the wall. And of course, everybody behind him hearing that green flag come out, they're easing down on the gas pedal. And then I think it's the one machine of John Gregorio just slams into him, knocks him for an E-ticket ride down the front stretch here, and then Gregorio just gets pounded by everybody behind him.
Yeah, I was taking a look at that too, and I don't believe John Gregorio meant to hit him in the rear end. He wasn't expecting him to spin out the way he did, but definitely on that restart there, I believe what he done was, JD, let the RPMs wound out a little bit too high before he shift gears, and there's a little sweet spot in there that once it gets to a certain RPM, it could cause that car to spin around with you, and I believe that's exactly what took place. But again, John Gregorio right there in that bad luck area, and this is what he's been battling against.
Yeah, and it didn't help, you go back here a couple of more cars back here in 8th position, Jason Elrod in that 70 machine. And almost looks like he just kept his foot in the throttle right up into making contact with the back of that, almost getting into the back of the one machine. But lucky for him, he squeaks by on the top side, Cowboy. I'll tell you what, I think he must have had his eyes closed, and his spotter just told him, you know what, step on the gas and go.
Absolutely, and like you said, he squeezed by there between that wall and I believe Jeff Addison. Sorry, I lost my train of thought there.
I'll tell you, that's easy to do at Darlington Raceway. They don't call this place the Lady in Black for nothing. But I'll tell you what, Jeff Addison in a 94 machine, Looks like a little bit too much gas too early here, bringing caution number 4 out here on the track. So I'll tell you, the sheet metal is just absolutely starting to pile up here tonight, Matt.
Yeah, the sheet metal is just piling up everywhere, and it must have been a really bad decision for Gregorio to go down and pit. Like we said, he's going to be in that trouble zone coming back to the green, and, well, there he was. He was right in the middle of the trouble zone. Back to you, JD.
You bet. And I'll tell you what, why don't we do a couple of on-air plugs here tonight. One thing I want to talk to you about, a simulation racing cockpit, the VRC Mark II virtual racing chassis. And it's designed by a championship race car driver, Bob Earl. He understands what comfort means during a grueling race. I mean, you know, he was a championship race car driver. The design features a fully adjustable racing seat and frame, additional monitor stand, and shifter mount. Sold. I gotta put my glasses on, guys. Wait a minute, just a minute here. I get this thing right. $349 plus shipping. See it at www.bobearlracing.com. And guess how many of these things he's sold, guys?
How many has he sold, JD?
I knew you'd ask me that, Rick. I'll tell you, over 3,000 units sold. And TV Live is proud to endorse this product because it's designed with the avid sim racer in mind, and it's an inexpensive, high-quality alternative to those others that cost thousands of dollars and simply unaffordable for the average sim racer. I'll tell you what, order one today, bobearlracing.com, and I got to tell you, it was over at Darren Gange's place today. What's that show called, guys? Come on, real quick. I can't even remember.
Inside Sim Racing.
Inside Sim Racing. Yeah, and I apologize, Darren, but I'll tell you, I was over at Inside Sim Racing tonight watching some reviews. Bob Earl's racing chassis over there, reviewed by the guys, got high marks, as the other one that we don't talk about anymore. I'll tell you what, guys, something around a 6, I think, is what they got. But anyway, I'll tell you what, check it out. I'm being nice. Check it out, bobearlracing.com, guys. And I'll tell you,
is that our new animation there? The
I'll tell you what, you know, we like to thank Bob Earl. Bob Earl has put up one of those racing seats here for the Monday night Real Sim Racing Full Throttle Cup Series as a season championship prize. So, you know, when we get close, you know, I'm sure everybody's got their eyeball on that. But back here on the track, guys, as we get ready to go here one more time, Landon Huffman's spending a lot of time up here in front. This time he's got Chad Cole, who's no stranger to the front row at Darlington here on the restart in that 17 machine. R.J. Williams, Jay Horton, and Stephen Ritter in behind, as looks like we get a little bit better restart this time around, guys.
Tell you what, just taking a look at that restart there, Chad got a really good start, but just doesn't seem to have what it takes underneath the hood of that car to get past that Huffman car. And I know he's got to be a little nervous right now. He has nothing but Huffman race cars all around him. And in his front view, in his rear view, in his side view, he's got them all around him.
Chad Cole finished second last January here, last time out at Darlington. So Chad Cole, no stranger to the front row up here, is we put 39 laps in the books here at Darlington. You know, here's the deal, guys. You can't come to this track and think you can get away with a heavy foot, a heavy right foot. This track isn't built for it. And, you know, this track requires a lot of respect. And, you know, you don't get that by hot-footing it through the corners here and, you know, getting multiple Darlington stripes coming off, you know, turns on both sides of the track. So it takes a great deal of respect to race this track.
That's right. Just taking a look back here and running fourth right now. It looks like we got trouble. 70 car around chasing Elrod.
And the caution comes out again. Caution out again, and actually we've got a couple of cars up here. I'm going to try to roll forward here a little bit, and it looks like a 70 machine, guys. Why don't we go ahead and send it on down to Magic Fingers? What do we got, John?
Now, let's see if we can cue it up here, guys. I've seen the 47 Eric Arnold going around. I'm not sure if that's the same one you see, but it might have been multiples as he blinks out once here. He's down on the bottom, guys. He just gets, he gets ever so loose. And actually, he saves it, and I can't tell the car that was above him there. I just happened to miss it. But he comes off the outside. It's a 70 car. He comes off the outside wall and smacks the 47 after he did a remarkable job saving that car.
You bet. And the 70 goes around for an e-ticket ride. And I thought I had seen, maybe it was just those two cars, but certainly that number 70 machine looks like he might have started the whole thing. Both of them getting out of shape just a little bit, but the 70 taking a bounce off the wall here, Rick. Of course, that started that whole ball rolling.
Yeah, I tell you what, tough luck there for the, especially that 47. The 47 is having a lot of luck, about like John Gregorio. Everywhere he's at, he just seems to find himself right in the slap middle, in the middle of trouble. So tough break for him.
Yeah, it is. That's going to bring caution number 5 here at Darlington Raceway. As these guys try to get it all sorted out. I was going to try to get, I'm looking down the list here. I was going to try to see if we couldn't get a hold of John Gregorio, but I don't know. He might have, I know he was a little, I know he was a little upset, but he might have done an Elvis left the building.
Yeah, he's loaded that car up. He had a few choice words I kind of heard over the radio, and he loaded her up, and see you next week, he said.
All right, maybe we can get in touch with one of the other ones down here on the track and see if we can't figure out what's going on. Let's get Matt working on that. Matt, let's see if we can't get in touch with one of the guys down here on the track and see if they can't give us an idea of what's happening down there. All right, as we put 42 laps in the books here, 150 laps on the board here at Darlington, and I think we've got Eric Arnold on the radio. Eric, this is JD up in the booth. You got us? Eric Arnold, this is JD up in the booth. You copy?
Yes, sir, I do.
Hey, bud, 42 laps into this thing, 5 cautions here already. That pace car going to pick up the trophy tonight, or what's going on down there, guys?
I don't know. I don't even know what happened out of turn 2 there. I got under the 70, and I felt like I was getting room. I was getting loose down there. I was trying to keep it down. I don't know if he hit the wall and came down onto me or what happened there.
I know I can see you sitting down there on pit road down there. Have you got extensive damage?
Yeah, I got about 7.5 minutes. I'm just going to try to pick up points tonight. This track, I hate it.
As does a lot of others. I know you were here once before, and I think you finished 16th last time out here at Darlington, but I'll tell you what, I know you got a lot of work to do down there with your crew chief, and we'll cut you loose, but thanks for talking to us.
Yep, thank you.
All right, Eric Arnold involved in that last caution, Rick, with the 70 machine. He's got extensive damage down there, still sitting down around pit road as he gets his repairs done. That's going to put him down numerous laps, and I mean, let's talk about that here for a minute. I mean, you know, if you go down a lap here at Darlington, how difficult is it to get it back?
Oh, it's going to be very difficult to get it back, and the only thing you can hope for is that if you're that first person that's a lap down. Take Eric Arnold, for example. Right now, he's 2 laps down, so if he gets his car back on the track, have a caution, he can get a lucky dog and hope for a caution again real quick.
You bet. As we get back to racing here again, and Landon Huffman picking up about his 6th green flag of the night here tonight, and it's Huffman racing up in front. Chad Cole, who's finished 2nd here last January, he's been hanging around in the top 5 up here pretty much all night long. Steve Ritter doing a good job in that 16 machine. Caution coming out for the 6th time here, guys, as we rolled around here, and had to have it back there in the back somewhere. I'm seeing the 65 machine going around with the 43 car, guys, and then something happens in front of them. This might have started way in front of the 43, John. Take it up here a notch. And it did. Looks like the 33 machine of David Lanza, he might have started this whole thing, John. Comes off the turn, spins it out, and I got a funny feeling he's hard into the wall and goes spinning down the backstretch here, and I got a funny feeling that the rest of it behind him was just trying to avoid that 33. But let's take it on down to Magic Fingers. What do we got, John?
Yeah, let's see if we can see what happened here. Got a pretty good start here. The 33 of Lanza's right behind the 26 there, coming into the corner. Oh, actually it's the 5 car. Looks like he hit the outside wall. 26 made contact, and David Lanza, he's got some damage there, guys, but that wasn't none of his doing this time.
Yeah, tell you what, I was taking a look at that too, and it looked like the 5 car and the 41 car got into it right there in the corner. And as soon as the 5 and 41 collected, it caused the 5 to slow down quite a bit and chain reaction from there.
Yeah, actually, and I thought it was a 33 car started all that, but I tell you what, it's happening all over the track. And of course, you know, Rick, I mean, that's how it is here. I mean, you know, things happen up there in front of you. You know, you're doing 180, 160 miles an hour, and you know, as the distance closes very quickly, you know, you start thinking about trying to take some evasive action. Your spotter's up there on the tower trying to get you through it. Anytime you got cars spinning all over the track, and it's just, I mean, it's a 3-ring circus, cowboy.
Well, I tell you what, there. Speaking of cowboys, there, JD, I was able to track down Mr. John Gregorio. John, this is Law Dog up in the booth. Can you copy?
Yeah, I got you loud and clear.
John, I was telling JD here, I tell you, we're just watching your races here for the last few weeks, and you know, you're a lot like me. Everywhere you go, no matter how much you try to be careful, you just always end up to be at the wrong place at the wrong time. Tell us what happened out there.
Well, in that particular wreck tonight, I pitted because I figured a lot more people would pit for the tires, and a few guys stayed out there, and I got restarted behind them. And I don't know, some guy ahead of me just spun his tires and spun out on the start. I don't know what he's thinking. I don't know if he needs to practice a little more before entering races or what, but it just seems like the past few weeks I've been just everywhere in wrecks that I shouldn't be. And I'll be honest, it's kind of getting kind of annoying because I pay money to race, and I always seems like I'm taken out by some dumb stuff.
I understand, John, and I tell you what, it can get frustrating out here, out there on the track, especially as competitive that you are, and can give a lot of these good contenders up front a good run for their money. But if you could just stay out of that trouble. But you know, John, it's a lot like the real deal out here. I tell you, racing is racing, and not every day we're going to go to the racetrack and find ourselves in victory lane. So tough luck for you there, buddy.
Yeah, I understand that. You know, the season's kind of been up and down for me. First couple races this season, actually, I could have won a few and got taken out. Same reasons. And we got that win earlier at Texas, I believe it was. Or I forget what track it was. And then the past couple weeks at Talladega and Richmond and Chicago, you know, I've been running pretty well. And I just seem to find that spot on the track where some stuff happens.
Hey, John, it's JD over here in the booth as well, and I tell you what, listening to you and Rick talk here, I got a question for you as we get ready to take the green flag one more time for Landon Huffman, R.J. Williams out in front, Chad Cole, Ritter and Horton going to pick it up. But John, you know, watching some of the restarts here tonight, any difficulty, you know, with the hooking up with the throttle with the rear end? Is that what's happening? Tires been going on, or what do you think is going on down here?
There is a little tire spin, but You can easily manage that if you just don't put your throttle down. And I think some guys are just trying to put throttle down all the way and then get tire spin. And like I do is roll into it a little bit. You might lose a little bit on the start, but you can gain that back. But some people just try to mash it, and that's what happens.
All right. I'll tell you what, thanks for joining us, John, and better luck next time around, my friend. Hey, it's not so bad, Cowboy. You're sitting 5th in the points, so that's a good place to be.
It's a nice place to be, although I'm losing points every week, and that's not a nice place to be.
All right, back out here on the track. Took the green flag here about a lap and a half ago. Landed up on Williams, Cole. We just went down through the top 5. But I'll tell you what, the little bit of a wheel spin on the start here, Rick, and I mean, 2 things going on here. You know, the psychological impact. Number 1, you're at Darlington. Okay. Number 2, the anxiety that comes when you hear the green flag fly when your spotter tells you to go. So, you got 2 things against you right from the get-go.
Oh yeah, but it's just like you said. Every track is raced differently, and depending upon those RPMs, the way the rear end and gear ratio is set up, some of these tracks out here, you can stop down on that gas and get away with it a little bit more than you can with some. And of course, Darlington is definitely not the track for that. The way the gear ratio is set up, it's because that car to spin out with you.
And I just took a peek out the back window over here, and it's like Jason Elrod, Keith Brooks Jr., John Gregorio, Nathan Bowers. I see him loading up the cars and putting them on a hauler, heading for the barn here from Darlington here tonight, guys. But I'll tell you, 53 laps in the books as Landon Huffman. Maybe this is the place to be out here in front. He's got the 21 teammate R.J. Williams kind of tagging along here. So I tell you, it looks like Landon Huffman just kind of biding his time. He gets into the turns, with good execution. Comes off the turns, doesn't get too angry with that throttle, keeping his car clean, staying off the walls, and it just you got to keep your mind forward, and keep your mind occupied with that track and forget about the competition out there for a while.
Oh yeah, and I tell you what, just watching Chad Cole for the last few laps, I believe he's got that. It seems to me that he's got that rhythm there. It looks like he's falling right into the 21 of R.J. Williams' line there. He keeps running the line. He knows that R.J. is going to be watching the line that his partner's running. So he's trying to figure this thing out. He realizes way early in the race to try to make any moves, to stay up front, watch the way these guys are running their lines, be prepared for it, and get ready for the setup to try to pass somebody when the time comes.
That. I've been watching this number 27 machine back there in 8th position inside the top 10. That's going to be Greg Netherwood. And, Greg finished just outside the top 5 last time out here at Darlington, 6th place finish. He also led 11 laps last time out. And so Greg Netherwood, he knows how to get his car to the front. Now, here's the deal. He just I've been watching him for a couple of laps, and he's just taking his time. He's about 8 seconds off the pace up here. Just flipped over to 9 seconds, 9.5 seconds off the pace in that 27 FX Cap Power Up machine. And he's just kind of biding his time here, and maybe this is what you got to do. Just, kind of get your laps in, wait till those last few laps to really turn the heat up a little bit and try to gain position.
I'll tell you what, Chad Cole came out of, I believe it was turn 4 there, got a little sideways, but was able to hang on to it, keep control of that car, but it's a good move, good hands-on right there from Chad Cole, but cost him a few car lengths there, so it's definitely going to come down to last few laps of the race today, JD, to really determine who may end up winning this race today.
And Bill Schoonover back here in 9th position, guys. Bill Schoonover in that 5 machine. He goes, looks like he just ducked down onto the apron down there, and he just let the 69 car, actually 69 of Joseph Hayes and Adam Roberts in that 88 machine by. So Schoonover with a lot of damage to that machine, doing the right thing, pulling off, letting them go by. Just hang on, try to get a decent finish here. Now, we were talking pre-race. And, a good finisher just might come by attrition.
Do what?
You know, attrition. The more that fall out, the better position you're going to have in the end.
Okay. Well, I tell you what, looking back here toward the back, I was watching back here where Jimmy North was, but next position behind him, running 6th and 7th, Chad Schilling and Jay Horton. I know that they're wanting to try to do what they can to join up with their teammates, but Greg Netherwood, driving that 27 car, has actually caught the tail end of Jay Horton's car. Been watching these guys for the last few laps, and I believe Greg Netherwood is getting ready to try to get himself set up to pass Jay Horton. The only thing is there, JD, that looks like Greg Netherwood is having a little bit of problem in the corners, though, about midways in the corners.
Yeah, you bet. As we put 61 laps on the books, and I tell you, he's putting the pressure on the the 83 machine here inside the turn here, going to take the position. So move Greg Netherwood up to 7th position here, guys. Jay Horton backing off a little bit, couldn't hang on the top side up there. But I tell you, you know, going all the way back to see if I can find him again here. I think it was the 43 machine, Doug Roth back there going 4 laps down now, 19th position. Severely damaged car. Maybe we get Magic Fingers to put a little extra camera on that one there. But I'll tell you what, the 43 machine, severe damage to that car. And, you know, just out here to persevere, get the laps in, get as many as you can get in before that thing quits, and get as many points as possible. You know, like we talked about, the season prize at the end of the season here at the Full Throttle Cup Series with Real Sim Racing is one of those Bob Earl racing chassis. So this is what it's all about right here in this 43 machine, running it till it quits.
Yeah, I tell you what, Eddie, just taking a look at that there on the track. Now, I'm sure they probably got a minimum amount of speed that they're supposed to be keeping up with. But a little concerned about that 43 out there. If he hits that apron the wrong way, could sling his car up into the wall up there, and one of these top contenders up here could have a bad day. Matt, do you have more?
Just about 5 laps ago, we saw Chad Cole take a hard hit into the outside wall heading into turn 1. He's way off the pace now from what the leaders are running. He's fallen 3 seconds back behind Landon Huffman and RJ Williams. It looks like he might have some toe knocked out or even some suspension damage on the right front of his car.
All right, and I'll tell you another one I'm looking at here, Matt, too, is the 41 machine, Chalmers Parker. Now, last week, Rick, it looked like it was going to be Chalmers Parker's big night at Talladega. Of course, the caution coming out, I believe it was on lap 3, if I'm not mistaken, kind of ended that chance, but did go home with a trophy that night with a 2nd place. But having major difficulty here tonight at Darlington, major damage to that machine as well, as Chalmers Parker is now 5 laps down here at Darlington.
Yeah, I'm tell you what, I'm taking a look back here as well at some of the cars we've got running. Jeff Addison, his car is majorly tore up, and right behind him, that's 3 laps now. David Lanza, he's got a tore up race car as well. But now these guys are keeping a little bit faster pace than the other ones that there we were talking about. But tell you what, probably going to see a lot more cars that are messed up race cars before the race is over. Looks like we got an accident and the 69 car just went around.
That's going to be Joseph Hayes going around here tonight, guys. He's down here in 10th position. Looks like he tags the wall here just a little bit. The lady in black kind of reaches out, takes a grab hold, and spins her right down on the inside wall, sending it on down to Magic Fingers for the rewind.
Yeah, JD, he's out here all by himself, so this car must be a handful. As he comes around the corner, I think you're going to see him hit that safer barrier, because it's got a little too tight for him, and he's going to plow this inside wall, guys, a ton. I see this head just snap back in them restraints when he hit that wall, guys.
I'll tell you what there, John, if you can keep showing that replay of him after he passes the start and finish line, right after he gets the car straightened out right there on the straightaway, a few minutes later he just loops it back around again and bangs the wall again.
That's one thing nice about ETV's new eView, guys, is we can keep an eye on that racing action as we're seeing the 75 come down pit road and the 69 at the same time. Plows that outside wall there, Law Dog.
It's happening all over the track here tonight, guys. I tell you, the lady in black just reaching out and grabbing everybody.
I'll tell you what, Landon Huffman and R.J. Williams down on the pit road there, I tell you, you're going to see these two go everywhere that they need to go. Matt, you got more on these guys on pit road?
It looks like Landon Huffman and R.J. Williams are both going to come down for a 4-tire pit stop. They didn't have a lot of complaints about their car, both running pretty equally throughout the entire run. It looks like we have like about a 1.5 second fall off towards the end of the run. Landon Huffman seemed to be struggling to keep the car down off the wall towards the end of the run. He hit the scraping the wall every couple of laps, giving him that Darlington stripe on the right side of his car.
Now, Matthew, do you know whether or not Chad Cole was able to fix that damage on that front right or not?
It looks like he spent a few extra seconds in the pit stall, and we don't know if he'll really be able to completely have it extend, but we'll have to see if he picks up the pace again.
All right, and I'll tell you what, where did we find that kid down on pit road? I'll tell you, we got two of the best pit reporters working at ETV Live. I'll tell you what, Cowboy, awesome job down there, Matt. All right, that's going to put caution number 6 on the books here tonight. Why don't we go ahead and step away? We'll take a quick commercial break. Check out the buffet table back here behind us, so don't wander off, Cowboy. We'll be right back. All right, we are back to 33 car of David Alonza and Ed Williams Jr. in that 65. Getting the wave around is just going to put Landon Huffman back out in front with R.J. Williams, Chad Cole, Steve Ritter. No change up in front, Cowboy. I'll tell you what, Chad Schilling in that 18 machine, he's another Huffman driver out here too. So we've got 3 Huffman Racing machines up inside the top 5 here, guys. Jimmy North back here in 6th. Greg Netherwood, he's been here at Darlington, 6th place finish in January in 7th position. Adam Roberts will restart in 8th. Addison in 9th, and Bill Schoonover as we get the okay, we're going to get a wave around. Okay, lights coming back on the pace car. I guess Flagman was not happy about the lineup here, guys. Well, we're going to go around one more time.
Tell you what, JD, I tell you, the viewers out there need to keep an eye on that 27 car of Greg Netherwood. The last few laps that he's been running, he's been very consistent on his entries into the corners, his exits. He's really picked up the pace here, and this caution here is actually a good thing for him. It kind of gathered everybody back up. And tell you what, look for that Greg Netherwood, that 27 machine, to start moving up in positions.
You bet. And I was just kind of playing around with the buttons on my monitor here, and I got a funny feeling they threw the caution because I think there was a late wave around just coming off of, I want to say it's the 26 machine of Jonathan Cadell, guys, who might have been the reason why they put the lights back on the pace car. As we get ready to take one more time, Huffman racing up here in front as Landon Huffman eases down on the gas, back to green flag racing here at Darlington as the 21 falls right in behind with Chad Coleman at 17, DeWalt machine in tow. So with 74 laps in the books here at Darlington as we get the restart here for the 7th time.
Tell you what, Chad Cole I was watching him real close there on that restart there, JD. He is right there, right at R.J. Williams. But I tell you what, this track is so tough to tame. You know, it's just hard to keep up that pace, keep up with these guys' line, and especially if you haven't conquered this track, still learning it, he's definitely going to struggle a little bit. But he's holding ground right now and looking real good.
You've got 75 laps in the books here at Darlington. Remember, 150 laps on the board here tonight. So I tell you, still got a lot of racing to do here at Lady in Black. But certainly, most everybody here tonight has gotten that Darlington. Spit it out, JD. The Darlington stripe on the right side of their car here. Back here in 6th position of the 84 machine, Jimmy North. Somebody we haven't talked about all night here. Jimmy North in that. Looks like that Lowe's machine back here doing pretty good here, keeping his car clean. And I tell you, it takes a lot of thought to maneuver these turns here at Darlington and keep that car as clean as that 84 is.
Absolutely, done a real good job there. And I tell you what, it looks like he actually pulled away from Greg Netherwood. Don't know if Greg is having some problems or not. I've been watching him over the last few laps, and just has not been consistent on the entries and exits, so it could have changed up that momentum that he had. You get quite a few green laps, you can get into that zone, get into that focus zone there, JD, and you know, it may take him a few minutes to get it back.
And the last car on the lead lap is going to be that 14 machine, Joey Gattina, about almost 16 seconds off the pace, and then behind him, 1 lap down, is going to be John Abbott. John Abbott is just an absolute tore-up machine, and John, of course, involved in a couple of cautions here tonight. One on lap 17, the other one on 27, on lap 27, 10 laps apart. So maybe that number 10 is kind of a jinx here tonight for John Abbott. Not having any luck at all.
Yeah, I was just watching Ed Williams Jr. there as he came out of, I believe it was turn 4. Wald wanted to reach out and smack him again, and I thought there for a second he was going to lose it, but he's still got that thing out there on the track, and tell you what, if you can get a shot on that back bumper there, John, that back bumper on that car sticking way out there on Ed Williams' car, running 14th right now.
And the 83 machine, guys, Jay Horton going around, coming off the turn. No caution is coming out. It's going to happen right here. He's in 11th position here on lap 79. Gets down below the apron and safely maneuvers that car around here, stays out of trouble, basically just wearing some rubber off the tires here, but the 83 machine of Jay Horton just getting loose in the turn here, John, and around he goes.
I tell you what, did a real good job hanging on to that car and not getting in any more trouble, but I tell you, that just really put him way back. He currently running 14th place now, so tough break for him. I know he was trying to get up there with his teammates, Landon Huffman and R.J. Williams, and I believe he was moving on up to catching up with Chad Schilling there just a few laps away.
You bet, and I'll tell you what, I was just getting ready to do one of our other plugs here tonight, and I know it's on the to-do list, and I promise I will get the overlay up soon, but I'll tell you, I want to talk to you about MTCO gaming servers. From the battlefields of World War II to the castles of the Crusades, auto racing, football, baseball, you name it, cowboy. If it's an online game, it's probably hosted on an MTCO gaming server. Your first, best solution to hosting world-class competition starts with MTCO gaming servers. Dedicated server box, no sharing, no contract, cowboy, no setup fees, no bandwidth limitations, and best of all, Rick, $49 a month, cowboy. Remember, your first best solution to your gaming needs, MTCO Communications, the quantum leader in gaming servers, mtco.com. That's pretty good, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was pretty good. And I tell you what, one of the things you left out there, JD, that, you know, from my understanding, MTCO is pretty big in far as that online gaming, and tell you a lot what you see out there. If it's online, it's probably being hosted on MTCO's game servers.
Talking to Jerry here about 5 or 6 days ago. Jerry telling me that he's picked up quite a bit of business recently, and he believes it's all because of dedicated boxes. You don't share these servers with anybody. You're the only one on that particular server, so it's all yours, bud. But I tell you, you know, get a hold of Jerry Wolf at mtco.com and talk to him. I'm sure he'll be happy to set you up. But pretty much status quo out here at Darlington. The Lady in Black, 84 laps in the book. Still keep an eye on Ed Williams back here in that ETP Live machine number 65, 14th position. Having some issues with the wall, but he's not the only one hot shot. Even at 17, I've seen him tag the wall a few times. That's going to be Chad Cole. Chad Cole, he got out of here last time out. Second place finish for him. But I tell you, he's been running in the top 5, Rick, pretty much all night long with Chad Schilling in that number 18 machine.
Yeah, I've been watching him. He's struggling just a little bit there, JD, but still able to hold up into that top 5. He just bounced off the wall again there, coming out of turn 2, I believe. What do you got for us, John?
Yeah, guys. You were talking about the 65 Ed Williams, and you must have missed a lap before him. I finally got it queued up here. Is the 75 was racing with him, and he just gets a little push, shoves him out of the way, and he goes, that car's ready for the scrap metal, boy. Get out of my way.
Oh, man. Watching the 88 machine here in 8th position back here. He's also having a difficult time as well. And I tell you, man, the Lady in Black has just reached out with both hands here tonight, Rick, and she's just grabbed hold and she's just ain't letting loose.
Oh, I tell you what, I'm just taking a look right now. The top 4, top 5, I want to say top 6. What I'm seeing right now, it doesn't have any damage done to their cars. Maybe the top 7. I've made it down that far, but right there, starting at 8th place in the number 88 car, watching Adam Roberts. As you can see, his car's banged up there pretty bad, and I believe Rob Boland's got a little bit of damage on his driver's side on the front left corner, but that's probably just enough to affect it.
I was just looking, I see Thomas Parker, unfortunate for that 41 machine, pushed his car behind the wall in the garage, and I got a funny feeling they're going to put it on the hauler, but let's take it on down to pit road. Matt, what do you got for us, bud?
About a lap ago, we saw Landon Huffman struggling with some of the lap traffic of the number 47 machine, and he gets hard into the wall coming out of turn 2, allowing for R.J. Williams to come by and take the lead from him about a lap and a half ago.
All right, R.J. Williams out in front. Of course, it's knee-deep in Huffman Racing. As the caution comes out on the track, guys, let's see if we can circle around here and find out who's bringing this one out here at Darlington. This will be caution number 7, I believe, here tonight. And I'm looking, I see somebody down on the apron. I don't think, yeah, it is. I'm seeing, John, I think it's going to be the 88 machine. That's going to be Adam Roberts going around here, coming off the turn, gets out of shape, has it corrected, tags the wall, and just goes for that e-ticket ride down the backstretch.
Yeah, you're exactly right, JD. Good eyes on that one. I was having trouble finding that one myself. He's just going to come off the corner. Instead of hitting the wall, he overcorrects, misses the safer barrier where everybody hit all night, but then he gets loose and ends up hitting the outside wall anyway. So the 88 is going to take a couple more Darlington stripes on that right side nose of that 88 machine.
I'll tell you what, John, whenever you get a chance, I want you to rewind that E-wind machine back to lap 91. Focus in on the 21 car that's up in the lead as it goes into turn 1. And when you get there, watch what happens. We almost had a big boo-boo.
21 machine having some difficulties here.
Yeah, the 21, I tell you, it's just like the 18 car earlier that we had. I believe it was the 18, JD, that is one of the Huffman cars that got spun around. Not the 18, but it would have been the, I believe, the 83 of Jay Horton. Same thing almost happened to R.J. Williams there going into turn 1.
All right, caution number 7 here at Darlington Raceway tonight. And I'll tell you, the lady in black is just, she's just piling them up back here behind the garages. But let's send it down to Matt down on pit road. Anything going on down there?
Yeah, we have a huge story right now. Actually, Landon Huffman is just leaving pit road, passed by numerous cars, probably almost every car on the lead lap besides Joey Katina. And it actually looks like he's got a pit road speeding penalty, and he'll be starting at the back of the pack here. Maybe a lot of trouble for our all-important Landon Huffman, led most of the race here tonight.
20.7 second pit stop for Landon Huffman tonight, and I tell you, Rick, along with that penalty, he's going to send him back quite a ways here. If he goes down a lap, it's going to be awfully tough to get it back. 93 in the books. While we go ahead and step away, I'm still hungry. Check out that buffet table back here in the back. Hey, you're live with the ETV Live Darlington Raceway. The Sim Racing Full Throttle Series. Don't wander off. We'll be right back. Alright, we are back, and I tell you, Rick and I having a discussion with Matt Close down there on pit road, and the bet is on, Cowboy. 13 cars left on the lead lap. Well, guess what? I tell you what, we'll get to that here in just a minute. R.J. Williams picking up his first green flag of the night here tonight. Jimmy North, Chad Schilling, Greg Netherwood, Chad Cole, who's just been absolutely fantastic up here in the top 5 all night. Landon Huffman, who's led most of the laps so far here tonight, 96 laps in the books. Landon Huffman has back here, had to restart back here in the back, as I believe he had to serve a penalty. But Landon Huffman in that 75 machine, currently being shown in 9th position.
Yeah, I was just taking a look at there, and I got my eye on Landon Huffman to see how he's going to come through the crowd here. And I tell you what, guys, I'm just noticing some of these guys just pulling right over and letting him shoot right up to the front. You know, it's good to be nice to let people go by, even when you may not be. Oh, we got the 14 car around Joey Gattina. I believe we've got the 10 car, and it ended up hitting the wall as well.
Oh, this is not John Abbott's night tonight, as the 14 coming through the turn gets out of shape, and I think on the exit of the turn here we're going to see him come up and hit the wall. And right at this point I'm going to stop my monitor. I'm going to come back here to the 10 car, who's just coming up behind him and sees what's going on with the 14, tries to avoid, gets out of shape, and noses into the outside wall. And I tell you, it's just bad luck all around, and then 2 more cars behind them. But I tell you what, let's see if we can't give you that dual view down there and see what happened. John, what we got on the E-Wine?
Yeah, that 14 car, JD, yeah, he must have been watching our dirt broadcast last night, because he comes out of the corner and he is just plumb sideways. Only thing to save him was that outside wall.
Yeah, and then John Abbott, he's trying to avoid the 14, takes his car down to the apron, a little bit too much throttle as it starts to break loose on him, and he can't get it back, nosedives into the outside wall, bounces off, comes down, hits the inside wall, and then more havoc behind him as the 14, Joey Gattina, trying to get his car straightened out. And we've got another victim, actually several victims back here, guys. The 26 machine of Jonathan Cadell back here in that 26 car in 13th position as well into the inside wall. So I tell you, Rick, the old lady in black, she has just reared her ugly head, and she is just chewing them up and spitting them out.
Oh, yeah, and I tell you, right when I was talking there, I watched the 14 car of Joey Gattina just pull down to the inside, let Landon Huffman and can't quite remember, I believe it was going to be the 83 of Jay Horton, just get right on by. And you know, here's the thing, you know, I know if these guys are faster than you, that's one thing, but come on guys, make them pass you. Run a race, you're on the lead lap, and that makes it to be more competitive, more hard racing.
Yeah, you bet. And I'll tell you another thing that has to happen here too is you know, they got to learn to race this track first, and just, you know, you got to drive within your limits, and that's 2 things happening here. You know, I mean, you've got a certain skill. I mean, not everybody's going to be a Class A driver and you know, the trophy winner every night at any given track. So you know, you got your best tracks, you got your worst tracks, and if it's your worst track, cowboy, hey, just drive within the limitations of your setup. Don't push it, finish where you can, and get the job done and go home. But I tell you, it just appears that some of these guys are just a little bit too hard on the gas pedal.
Yeah, going back to the 14 car, Joey Gattina, just watching, and you know, as he lets Landon Huffman and Jay Horton by, I believe what his theory was is that, you know, if I let these guys by, I know they're fast, I'll jump over into their line, I'll race their line, and maybe I'll pick some speed up. But I believe what happened was is when he went into that corner, tried to ride that line and push that gas just a little bit faster than what he's used to, that's where it got away from him.
You know, and I don't know about you, but I'm getting awfully full at here, guys. So one more trip to the buffet table. Lights are out on the pace car, and I tell you, let's do another plug here. I don't know that I know I've got an overlay for this, John. I don't know if you got it in the lineup, but I'll tell you what, I want to tell you about a trucking company that recently signed on here with ETV Live. And if you haven't seen the commercial yet, it's just like it says. If your pickup truck is too small for the load, get a real truck to haul it, cowboy. Sponsoring the Friday Night Showdown Series here on ETV Live, Gary Mercer Trucking Incorporated provides LTL and TL loads. Now that's less than a full load and full loads if you don't know what trucking jargon is. But LTL and TL loads, long and short haul options for hauling furniture, sensitive equipment, perishables, even refrigerated products, and a whole lot more. Storage facilities in the U.S. and Canada. CTPAT approved and fast express drivers. Gary Mercer Trucking Incorporated. It's the best choice to haul your load. Give that old pickup truck a rest and call Gary Mercer Trucking. 800-668-2980. Check it out at gmercer.com. As R.J. Williams picks up the second green flag of the night here tonight. As sounds like we've got another wreck happening on the track here.
So we got the 84 car.
Yeah, that's going to be Jimmy North. No caution coming out here yet, guys. I'm going to try to roll it back here a little bit on my monitor. Looks like he, was that 17 that got into him?
Yeah, I believe when they went in the corner there, JD, it looks like the 17 was trying to go on the bottom apron, and 84 may have tried to squeeze him down there, but 17 was already committed, and you know how that's going to end up.
Yeah, you bet. And I don't see, there's no caution, guys, so we're staying green here on the track. And Chad Cole in that 17 machine doesn't appear to have a whole lot of damage as he's trying to pick up the pace here a little bit and at least get to the bumper of R.J. Williams up there in front of him. But I'll tell you, you know, they're claiming a lot of cars here tonight. And I believe it was Landon Huffman said that they're going to finish the race tonight with 13 cars on the lead lap. Well, you're one down now here, Landon.
Tell you what, already looking at Landon Huffman running third right now and doing what he can to chase down Chad Cole. And tell you what, he's not far from it. Looks like, I believe Landon Huffman's only about 3.8 seconds behind. I believe it's going to be Chad, and tell you what, he's gaining every lap.
I'm just looking over the window here down on pit road. John Abbott's sitting down there. He's been sitting down there now for almost a minute as the clock starts ticking away on him. So John Abbott, number 10 car, has just had his fill tonight. I'll tell you what, Cowboy. That's the third caution he's been involved in tonight, and just you know, a string of bad luck coming his way here at Darlington. But I tell you, you know, the Lady in Black claiming a bunch of them here tonight. We only got 11 cars on the lead lap. Adam Roberts back here in 11th position, guys, in that 88 machine. He's the last one, and then of course behind him in 12th is going to be Joseph Hayes fighting to keep that 69 machine running here. But I'll tell you, if Lucky Dog comes out, get another caution, he will get the wave around and be able to get that lap back. But I'll tell you what, as the race starts winding down with 106 in the books, Rick, you know, I tell you, R.J. Williams, Chad Cole, even Landon Huffman back up here in third position. Remember, he started in the back of the pack. Landon Huffman already up into third.
Yeah, you're right, and he did. He started in the back of the pack, but just keep in mind there, JD, a lot of guys was just pulling over and letting Landon Huffman run right up on through there. So, you know, guys have got to think about that. If you got a guy that's very dominating in a series, you got to wonder, you know, when they're given the opportunity to race that gentleman, don't let him by. Race him.
Yeah, you bet. And I think we're going to try to, I see, I know John Abbott's car is down there on pit road. He's got major damage to that machine of his, and I think we're going to try to get him up on the radio here and see if we can find out how bad it is down here. But I'll tell you what, out in the meantime, up here, R.J. Williams looking pretty good up here in front, and I understand we got John Abbott on the radio. John, JD up in the booth. You got us?
I hear you, JD.
Hey, I see you sitting down there on pit road. Extensive damage to that number 10 machine. That's 3 strikes, you're out, Cowboy. What's going on down there, my friend?
Yeah, it's been typical Darlington. You know, you try not to let it get under your skin, but it's been one of those days. Looking at, want to try to get back out there and at least retain a position and maybe gain 1 or 2, and see if I can get some points.
Well, that's what it's all about. You know, you run it until she quits, and I tell you, that's old school racing, Cowboy. But you know, Darlington's certainly a tough track here for everybody out there. But you know, it seems like worse than usual tonight. Is it the weather? What do you think is going on out here tonight, guys?
Yeah, it's definitely a greasy track, which I like it. Darlington is one of my favorite tracks. You wouldn't know that tonight, but kind of made a mistake there on the restart, and that's where it all started for me. Just kind of, I actually was getting some repairs done, and I had the lucky dog a time or two, and really felt good about it until I got into Joey there. He got loose coming off for 2, and I went down to avoid him. I thought he was going to come off the wall, and then the car kind of unloaded and loaded again. I shot straight into the wall, but I was feeling pretty good about my chances then. I thought I could rebound, but now not much to show for it.
All right, well, I'll tell you what, old Winston Cup stuff, Cowboy. Put your helmet back on, climb back in that machine, get it on out there, and see if you can't finish this thing. It's all about points, so good luck to you, John.
Thanks, JD.
All right, John Abbott still sitting down there on pit road, guys. You know what, just have him throw a little bit of extra bear bond down that machine down there. I'll tell you what, get it back out there, Rick, and get those laps burned off and get as many points as you can. That's old school racing right there.
I tell you what, talking about old school racing, you know, they had quite a few accidents when they brought them old cars out here many years ago, and I tell you, today we've had lots of accidents with these cars. Been watching Chad Cole. Chad Cole's been struggling a little bit in his corners, especially in his entries, and not getting out of the corners so well. He's banged up that car a little bit on that passenger side, and Landon Huffman has actually gained a little bit on him. But looking at the board here, just checking the board, looks like Chad Cole was able to put just a little bit of gap there in between them again. But I tell you, it's back and forth. Chad, you know, actually putting a little distance in between him and Landon, and in one lap, and it will put some, you know, knock off some of that distance. So it's definitely going to come down to the wire here and see where Chad ends up. If they go green all the way, I don't know if Landon's going to have enough to catch up there with Chad Cole. Chad Cole, I don't know if he's going to have enough to catch up with RJ. But, of course, if a caution flag comes out, it's a whole different ballgame.
Tell you, watching these guys up here in front, RJ Williams, last time by. Well, okay, caution coming out one more time. We'll get to that here in a minute. But caution number 8 here at Darlington one more time here. See if I can't roll it back. I see Greg Netherwood down here with a, looks like he might have blown his motor, and it's going to be the number 27 car, John, 7th position up here, and he goes for a whale of an E-ticket ride. I tell you what, screw your head back on, Cowboy. He gets done with that spin, and I tell you, that's like doing a triple axle right here on the backstretch, Cowboy. Let's take it on down to Magic Fingers, pull it off in the old E-wine machine. Show them what we got there, bad boy.
I'm queuing it up here now, guys. He gets down on that loose apron there with that left wheel. He's going to lose control of this machine, and wow, hard licking the outside wall, guys. He's going to come back down. I believe you're going to see this motor ignite when he hits this inside wall. Pow! What a lick. I just see the momentum of that car just stop like a brick wall, and that motor's going to expire here, guys.
Big time. 130 miles an hour into the outside wall, about 90 miles an hour to the inside wall, and it sends that 27 machine Rick into a triple axle like you have never seen, Cowboy. That's going to be caution number 9 coming out here at Darlington.
Well, you know, I was rewinding here and noticed that Netherwood had some damage to his front end. And I don't remember, and you guys, I don't know, maybe I'm in a different world and I'm a little under the weather today, but looking back, and I believe it's going to be lap 114, down in turn, I believe it's going to be turn 1 and 2. Did we get a caution out for an incident that Netherwood got into it with the 14 car down there in turn 1 and 2 on lap 114?
Yeah, I'm looking back here again, guys, and absolutely, and one more notch here, John. Actually, the 14 car actually started even before that. The 14 is down on the apron here, guys. Goes into the turn here, way down on the apron. Comes back up the track into the outside wall. It's right here on position 13, John, on lap 112 in the 14 machine. So something whacked out with the 14 car as he's just cruising along the apron here. Might have blown a tire, sends him into the outside wall, and that starts the ball rolling behind him. As I believe it's going to be the 17. That's where Greg Netherwood makes contact with him right there.
Yeah, I don't remember a caution coming out, but if you guys remember a little earlier, I was talking. I was a little concerned about some of these guys that are riding on the bottom of the apron with their cars really messed up, and was just afraid that as they're going around here, just trying to gather the laps to get the points for the laps. Just a little concerned that, maybe they go in there a little too hard or maybe hit that bottom apron, sling their car back into the raceway up there and cause somebody to have a bad day, and it could possibly be exactly what we just saw there back on lap 114.
Yeah, and there was no caution on lap 114, so I'm a little bit puzzled. That was a pretty severe wreck right in the middle of the track up there. Multiple cars involved. And, shame on the race admins for not throwing the yellow out on lap 114, guys. At least lap 112 back there where all that took place.
Absolutely.
All right, and like I said, 9 cautions here at Darlington here tonight. And I'm sure they're all going to come down pit road. At least I would. Take every opportunity I got. Come down and get 4 new shoes and a bucket of oats. But I tell you what, I got a little room left in my belly. I'm going to go check out that buffet table one more time here and go ahead and take a little bit of a break. So I tell you what, Cowboy, don't wander off. You're watching live ETV Live, Darlington Raceway with Real Sim Racing, Full Throttle Cup Series. So don't wander off. We'll come right back. MTCO Communications, dude, I'll tell you what, the only place to get your gaming servers, no contract, month to month. Get gaming tonight with Battlefield 2. Hey, Call of Duty, do it with R-Factor, Arca Sim Racing, dude. I'll tell you what, $49 a month, no better deal anywhere. Remote access, virus filters, remote power cycle, no player limit, no bandwidth, dude. Dedicated servers, hey, do it tonight. Give them a call, 800-859-6826. You know where your world is.
I think I found it.
All right, we are back. Quick caution, I'll tell you what, these flagmen just itching to get out of here. They've had a heck of a night here too, but here about 3 laps to go on the restart. Just after the restart, Rick moved the 17 machine up in front. Landon Huffman get past R.J. Williams as well. That's going to put Chad Cole in the 17 car out in the front for the first time here at Darlington tonight. So a couple of bonus points coming his way as Landon. As caution coming out here again, guys. This is going to be caution number 10 here at Darlington. Let's roll this one back and see if we can't find this one. It's going to be Ed Williams Jr. in a 65 machine. And it looks like he might have had some help here, but I tell you, it's that Darlington, the wall up here in the turn. And I almost see Jay Horton got into him, guys. It's going to be Jay Horton at 83 machine, 11th position back here, as 65 gets just a little bit out of shape in front of the 83, goes into the wall. 83 finishes him off. And let's take it on down to Magic Fingers Westling. What do we got, John?
I'm queuing it up now, guys. See if we can see what happened here. I'm on that 65 Ed Williams Jr. He's going to go. He gets really tight, comes up the wall, but there's already a car up ahead of him in the outside wall. I don't see Ed Williams Jr. in any altercation yet, JD, unless I'm way ahead of it.
Yeah, it's actually going to be the 83 car. 83 cars in 11th position behind the 65, Ed Williams Jr. They're both coming through the turns. The 83, Jay Horton, up on the top, tangles with the wall up there, but I'm not quite sure what took the 65 car up. As the 65 car just kind of comes up on the 83, and they tangle right up there on the wall, forcing the 65 machine around.
Yeah, it looked like they just ran out of room there. One of them was thinking to go outside, and Ed Williams Jr., that 65 car, couldn't quite keep it down there in the bottom, and they just tangled up, and it looks like that 65 car is going to take the worst of that battle.
Yeah, it looks like the 44 car machine down there on the bottom too, guys. I mean, they're all, I guess you could call it 3 wide. I don't know if that had anything to do with it or not. Ed Williams Jr. at 65 coming along. They see the 44 having troubles down there as his 44 almost spins out. But Rick, I don't know if that might have been, you see that stuff out the windshield, and you're doing 150 miles an hour through the turn, and you've only got a few feet to take some kind of evasive action. Who knows whether the 44 was part of that or not?
Yeah, well, I tell you, it's going that fast and just trying to make a move at the last second. All you're going to do is definitely wreck the car. So it's just so tough sometimes there, JD. Just so tough for the driver sometimes.
I know one thing, and that's one tore up ETV live machine. I'm sure glad we ain't footing the bill for that.
Yeah.
Tell you what, though, I do want to tell the viewers out there, right on that restart, I believe the 18 of Chad Schillen, or actually the 21 of RJ Williams, was running up front on that restart. And Chad Cole got a really good start. He's been having a lot of really good starts here in the last few cautions that we've had. And I tell you what, I believe he hit the nail right on the head on that last restart. He got himself set up. As they were coming out of turn 4, he came around with like a slingshot pass, came on the inside, done a crossover on the 21 of RJ Williams, set himself up for the inside, and when they went into turn 1, it was just all the way to the front from there on. And I tell you what, when he got out front, I don't know if he turned the turbo on that car or what, but he was starting to check out.
You bet. And I tell you, Chad Cole, again, we've been talking about it all night. Chad Cole, he's no stranger to the front row up here at Darlington, finishing second last time out here, guys. So I tell you, Chad Cole could be going home with a big one here tonight. But while we're under caution here, guys, we might as well carry on with our little online plugs as the lights go off on the pace car. Don't know if we'll have time to get this one in or not. ETV Live, the leader in sim broadcasting, ingenuity and vision. ETV Live has set the bar one more time, providing the best online simulation autosports broadcasting. As your online autosports entertainment network, tune in to the Road TV Live from Sebring, Florida for the 120 minutes of Sebring on May 20th at 1:20 p.m. Eastern. And I'll tell you, launching soon. How about last night, Cowboy? Kind of our inaugural broadcast. We will bring you the best in online dirt racing, from late model dirt racing to the famed wing sprint cars. Join us on May 30th and 31st from Eldora Speedway as Dirt Late Model Sim presents The Dream live on Dirt TV Live. Remember, ETV Live, the only choice for your sim broadcasting needs. Energetic commentators, reasonable rates, the best in quality. etv-eplay.net. Chad Cole picks up the green flag on the restart. Landon Huffman in the back of him. And then R.J. Williams, Chad Schilling, and Steve Ritter. Steve Ritter in that 16 machine, Cowboy. I'll tell you what, Rick, he's been doing a pretty good job keeping that 16 car up there in the front all night long.
Well, I tell you what, JD, what he's done is he's been very patient. He stayed out of trouble. He's took one lap at a time at this thing. And I'm not so for sure that he hasn't sit back and watched Landon, R.J., and Chad and watching their lines. Oh, and I tell you what, it looks like Landon Huffman just hit the wall real hard coming out of turn, I believe it's going to be turn 2 there.
And that's going to let the 21 machine of R.J. Williams get past him. Landon Huffman, 131 laps in the books here at Darlington, starting to have his own issues here as the laps start winding down. But I'll tell you what, he's got the pedal to the metal. Coming off of turn 2 here, heading down the back stretch, or actually turn 4 heading down the front stretch, looking to catch up to his teammate R.J. Williams up there. But I'll tell you what, Chad Cole out in front by about a half a second over R.J. Williams, guys. And I tell you, this could be a pretty good night for Chad Cole.
Absolutely. I tell you, Chad Cole, that's another one that's been real patient tonight. Sit back, watch some moves be made. Really hasn't pushed that car hard, and I tell you what, as you can see right now, we're starting to see what that car is capable of doing tonight, as he's put pretty good gap in between himself and R.J. Williams. So I tell you what, JD, it's a good possibility, with less than 20 laps here at Darlington, it's going to boil down to about the last 3 to 5 laps, and we're going to see probably Chad, R.J., and Landon, maybe even Chad and Steve, all battling out up there up front for position.
Yeah, and moving all the way to the back here, 6th position inside the top 10. And this is what I was talking about here a little while ago. Remember our discussion about attrition? I'll tell you about Joseph Hayes back here in 6th position, that 69 car. All right, he just lapped back here a few laps ago, 8 seconds off the pace up here. But I'll tell you what, Cowboy, inside the top 10 for a pretty decent finish here at Darlington tonight. Still having issues in the turns right along with everybody else, trying to keep that number 69 machine pointed forward in the right direction as he keeps on plugging away here at Darlington. So he's got the 44 machine of Rob Bowling dead ahead in 7th position as well. So I tell you guys, Chad Schilling having a pretty decent night here tonight.
Yeah, I tell you what, looking back up here toward the front, it looks like the 21 of R.J. Williams is starting to slowly gain on to Chad Cole there. He's actually closed in that gap, and I'm not sure if Chad's let out of the gas there to save a little bit of tire, or if maybe Chad has actually eat his tire and burn his tires up, trying to put some distance in between him and R.J. Williams. But I'll tell you here in just a few, seen Chad Cole there get a little bit cockeyed as he came out of turn 4 there. That car may be getting a little loose there, JD.
I'll tell you, looking at lap times, Chad Cole's the last time around 29.377 to R.J. Williams 29.260. So I tell you, R.J. Williams looking to close the distance on Chad Cole up here, and hopefully find that opportunity as he gets bumper close coming down the backstretch here, looking for that opportunity. Actually, that was the front stretch. My bad. I gotta wash the window here.
That's no problem. I've actually got a little bit confused a little bit myself tonight, because I'm used to seeing that big start cross finish line, but as they're going in down into turn 1, R.J. Williams keeps looking underneath Chad Cole there, but still hasn't done anything to try to commit to that. So it's definitely starting to get pretty exciting here, JD.
Again, they're pretty much matching lap times here, guys. Both R.J. Williams and Chad Cole are only about 1,000th, maybe 100th of a second off of one another, but 21 car certainly making his way up to the bumper of that number 17 DeWalt machine up there. Remember, 150 laps on the board, so 139. Let's make it 140 in the books. 10 to go here at Darlington as Chad Cole is coming up on a lap down car dead ahead. I believe that's going to be the 88 of Adam Roberts. So I tell you, this ain't over yet, guys, as the 88 machine might pose a problem for that 17 as Chad Cole starts getting a little bit out of shape here coming off the turn. So I'll tell you, with about 10 laps to go, Rick, that's going to be a long 10 laps. As the 21 pulls right up to the bumper, looking for the opportunity, peeking on the inside here, is going to get it as DeWalt 17, Chad Cole, just lays the throttle down, pushes up into the turn here. Another opportunity coming for the 21. Can't get it done as the 17 hangs on to the lead coming down the front stretch.
Yeah, I tell you what, R.J. Williams is looking to do the same move that Chad pulled on him earlier with that crisscross move coming out of turn 4. But, you know, who knows, R.J. may hang on to that for the next few laps and maybe try that move on the last lap to celebrate that victory if he could pull it off. But I tell you what, right now he's looking on the inside of Chad Cole. They're side by side as they come out of turn 2 and down on the back stretch. And I tell you what, the 21 of R.J. Williams is going to have the upper hand as they go into turn 3. Chad Cole looking on the inside is going to try the crisscross move coming out of turn 4, but he's unable to be able to pull it off.
8 laps to go here at Darlington. I'll tell you what, Chad Cole fighting back hard and trying to get that position back, but dead ahead of the 88 machine up there. I'll tell you what, he's going to throw a monkey wrench into the works here. Let's check on Landon Huffman back here in 3rd position in that number 75 machine. Rick falling off the pace a lot here, 2.3 seconds back. No help for that 75 machine as he probably got at least the most laps led here at Darlington tonight. And the story here right now is going to be up here in front of the 17 car. Looks on the inside of the 21, going into the turn. 21 up high, 17 looking to take it back. Comes through turn 3.
Oh, and I tell you what, the 21 of R.J. Williams looking on the inside of 17, Chad Cole, underneath as they're going down the back straightaway, but looks like 17, Chad Cole is going to pull away from it, and he's going to hang on to that lead for this lap here. So we're starting to see some awesome moves being pulled right now, JD.
6 laps to go, and here, use my glasses. That was actually the front stretch. On the back stretch now, going down into turn 3. I tell you what, the 21 right on the bumper of the 17 car. 17 trying to make that car as wide as possible. The opportunity coming, can't get it. 17 covers the bottom as the 21 car pulls right up to the bumper. 5 laps to go here at Darlington, guys, going off into turn 1. And the 17 car takes the turn real wide, drops back to the bottom, cover that bottom hole down there, does not let the 21 get past him. And I tell you what, this ain't over until the fat lady sings, and I hear the band starting to warm up.
Yeah, I tell you what, he went down in there in turn 3 and 4, 17, Chad Cole. I believe he just about rode that whole wall all the way around it. Like you say, he's trying to make that car as wide as he possibly can. But tell you what, I believe the 21 of R.J. Williams right now is kind of letting his tires cool down as much as he can because he knows he's going to have one shot at this and only one shot only.
You got that right. As the laps are winding down here, 146 in the books here, 4 to go here at Darlington, the lady in black. And she has certainly claimed her victims here tonight, Cowboys. The 21 looking on the inside, coming off the turn. Oh, 17 into the wall. That gives the 21 car, R.J. Williams, his shot to get on by. I'll tell you what, 17's got some work cut out for him now, Cowboy, as he drops back here just a little bit. But I'll tell you, coming off turn back there, tangled with the wall, that gave R.J. Williams the opportunity he was looking for. 3 to go here at Darlington.
That's right. They're getting into turn 1, but Chad Cole is still right on the back door of R.J. Williams as looked like R.J. Williams got into the wall there a little bit, but coming out of turn.
Again! 17 into the wall again.
Tell you what there, JD, that's really going to take a toll on Chad Cole there with that coming out of turn 2 there and popping that wall the way he did. And all he can do now is rely on that R.J. Williams makes the same mistakes that he made before.
You bet. And they cross line this time around. It'll be 2 to go here at Darlington. I'll tell you what, Chad Cole doing everything he can to get that number 17 DeWalt machine back up towards R.J. Williams up here in front. One more check on Landon Huffman, who led the most laps here as the 17 tangled with the wall again. Landon Huffman 2.6 seconds back. No help at Darlington for that 75 car here tonight. R.J. Williams holding down the lead up here. He's got about a little better than a half a second lead over Chad Cole. Cole fighting to try to keep that car in line. As we come down, it's 1 to go. White flag is out, guys. R.J. Williams got the lead. Chad Cole just cannot get there as he tries to keep that 17 machine off the walls. I'll tell you what, coming back around here, this is going to be it. Last time around, and R.J. Williams has just all but got it in the bag. You might as well stick the trophy in the trunk, cowboy, and drive that 21 machine right on back to home.
That's right, and I'll tell you what, a tough break there for Chad Cole. It looks like he just basically just overdrove the car there trying to catch the 21, and it looks like the 21 of R.J. Williams is going to take the victory here at Darlington Speedway.
You bet. I'll tell you what a night here at Darlington, and I think we had 5 cars on a lead lap finish here tonight. Yeah, it's going to be R.J. Williams, Chad Cole, Landon Huffman, Chad Schilling, Steve Ritter, the last car on lead lap, 12.9 seconds back. Joseph Hayes, Adam Roberts, Jay Horton, Rob Bowling, Doug Roth finishing out for your top 10 here. But I tell you, 150 laps later, about a dozen and a half cars piled up in the back here. The sheet metal, just a staggering pile of sheet metal. What a night here at Darlington.
Yeah, I tell you what, we got ended up with only 5 cars on the lead lap, and man, I tell you, I really wasn't expecting to see that low amount of cars on the lead lap. But tough race here at Darlington. But you know, looks like R.J. Williams there. He's finally got dents, and he's done banged up his car. Why not? Everybody else has.
Oh, I'll tell you what, you know, if you came to Darlington with the idea of going home without a scratch on it, you came to the wrong track, cowboy. But I'll tell you what, R.J. Williams certainly picking up the big one here tonight from Darlington as we watch him burn what's left of the rubber off of his tires down there on the front stretch. While we go ahead and step away, we'll take a commercial break and get ready for the post-race show here at Darlington Raceway. So don't wander off, cowboy. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back to Darlington Raceway, and I'll tell you what a night here. 150 laps later, and a bunch of tangled up sheet metal back in the back here. And I'm standing down here in victory lane with the 21 car, R.J. Williams. And I tell you, man, that last about the last 10 laps of this race, maybe we should have started on lap 140. Tell us about it.
Man, first of all, great racing to Chad. That was so much fun, so much fun. It's a hard battle. It's really tough to pass here. I was really trying to beat him up off the turns, and he made a few mistakes that I was able to kind of capitalize on, and then unfortunately I got caught up behind the lap car there, and he got back around me, and I had to really, maybe really work for it, but all in all, a fantastic night if you ask me.
You bet. You know, we saw a lot of guys having some difficulty down here tonight, but you know, you seem to have been able to work it through. Was it, you know, a lot of time spent during practice session, or what do you think was happening down here today at Darlington?
Well, this is Darlington. This has to be the hardest track on the service. I've done a lot of, you know, A races this week, but still, I mean, I struggled in those, and you know, it's just a real rhythm track, and you have to hit the line perfectly. But it's Darlington.
It's Darlington. I'll tell you what, since 1949, cowboy, it hasn't changed one bit. But I'll tell you, congratulations on the win here tonight and taking a big one home. Any shout-outs out there you want to give to anybody?
Yeah, I got to thank Huffman Racing. Another great group of guys, great race. It was fun running with Landon there. Sim Seats, got to plug Landon's car. Dave's Truck Parts, all the good sponsors that help us out on Saturday.
You bet. And, you know, again, congratulations taking a big one home here from Darlington tonight. I'm going to throw it on down pit road. I believe Rick Donaldson is caught up with Chad Cole.
Chad Cole, it looks like you qualified second here today. And tell you what, you ended up finishing second here today. Tell us a little bit about your race there in the last few laps.
Well, it was definitely interesting there. I mean, it was a good battle for the lead there. Hats off to RJ. He's always a clean racer, and really, him and Landon I learned turn 3 from them. I thought I had it figured out in practice, but they were just killing me on the front stretch. So I kind of got it figured out, but I'm gonna have to go and practice and watch the race again and try to figure out turn 3 there and for next time. But it was a great battle for the lead there. I'm surprised I actually had it for for a while there.
Well, I'll tell you what, you had on that restart, heck of a restart. You started on the outside, and I want to say that RJ was right up there running up front. I know you had looked in your mirror, you saw Landon, and you saw the other teammates. You were surrounded by all them orange cars. But went down there in turn 3 on that first lap of the restart. Looks like you made a slingshot pass, got yourself set up on the inside of RJ, and was able to set yourself up going into turn 1. And I tell you what, that we hadn't seen everything that car had in it all day, because you started to check out there.
Yeah, I tell you what, I think it might have been that fresh air. Oh wow, I just can't believe I grabbed the lead back from him. But some light traffic got in the way there. But I mean that happens at Darlington, like RJ was saying. It's Darlington.
Well, I'll tell you what, Chad, you had the fans up on their feet there. You guys battling it out between first and second, kind of going back and forth there. But now, I'm gonna ask a little secret here. When you guys were battling it out, coming out of turn 2, it looked like that wall reached out and smacked the side of that car a couple times. Would you say you started overdriving it just a little bit? Was the pressure and the excitement getting to you?
Oh yeah, it definitely was. Just wanted to win at Darlington, you know, how prestigious the track is, and I was overdriving it just a bunch, to tell you the truth. And it wasn't just turn 2, I was smacking the wall everywhere. I'm not entirely sure if I have a right side left on the car.
Well, fantastic. I understand you finished second here the last time you were here, and you qualified second here today, and you ended up finishing second. So hopefully by next round we'll get you up there in victory lane. Anybody out here you want to thank?
Yeah, that sounds like a plan. Victory lane sounds good, but I got to thank the sponsor for the series, Bob Earl Racing Seats, and of course ETV for broadcasting these races. Really having a lot of fun doing it.
Well, fantastic. Chad, you drove a heck of a race today, and I'm sure you're probably pretty exhausted. Get yourself something to drink. I'm going to throw the mic on over to Matt that's caught up with our third place finisher.
Hey, I'm here with Landon Huffman, finished third place after leading 87 laps tonight, and we just wanted to ask you, Landon, what happened after you tangled with that lap car and got hard into the wall? Did you have too much damage to get back up there and win the race?
Yeah, on that last restart, those first couple of times I got the fence there earlier in the race, it really didn't upset the car all that bad, and I didn't have any repairs. But that last restart, I was there right on Chad's bumper, and I saw him. I was kind of trying to focus on his car, and he slipped and hit the fence, and I did the same thing. I just got it a lot harder, and it knocked the toe out. And then it was just pushing like crazy after that. Just I'm glad RJ won. It's cool to have another Huffman car in victory lane. All the team, they do a good job. It's fun to come out here and run with Real Sim, and I know you guys put on a good broadcast, and hopefully we put on a good show.
So you said before the race track position was everything, and man, we saw you get that penalty towards the middle of the race and put you in the back. Did that have like a huge effect on your race, maybe?
Yeah, it's just something typical that I would do. Just try to stay right on RJ's bumper there, maybe beat him off pit road, and screwed up, and it came back to hurt me. I tried hard to get back up to the position, or put me in position to win the race. I think I was there. Just lost focus just a little bit and killed the fence, and that's what done it in. But I mean, I'd like to thank all the guys that at Huffman Racing. Like I said, they work hard, and they're a fun group of guys to race with. Hats off to RJ. He was running right with me at the start. I thought me and RJ was going to have the whole field there until Chad figured it out there at the end. But, yeah, hats off to him. He works on my late model on Saturdays, and it's pretty cool to come out here and race with him on Monday nights, and he put it to me tonight.
All right, well, you guys definitely put a show on for us, and if you have any last thoughts, just let us know.
Yeah, I'd like to thank Sim Seats. It's www.sim-seats.com. They're great sim chassis. They just as good as the play seat, cheaper prices. And all my real world sponsors for the late model, Dave's Truck Parts here in Claremont, North Carolina. 6 Tire Centers, B&B Communications, S&H Pools, Stockyard Steaks, all the guys, and that help us out on the real car as well.
All right, well, I'm going to send it back over to JD. I think we got it all.
Absolutely, we've done it all. I'll tell you what, the Darlington Raceway here. Tonight, we were with Real Sim Racing League. I'll tell you what, Cowboy, the Full Throttle Cup Series, and it's been full throttle here now for several weeks with these boys. But, Rick, tonight, hey, Darlington, like you guys talking about, it is Darlington, and since 1949, my friend, it hasn't changed a bit.
Well, I'll tell you what, a lot of these guys had some tough racing tonight. Got a lot of race cars to be fixed for tomorrow morning, so I know these guys are definitely wanting to get started, as we can see some getting loaded on the hauler now, and actually we can see some getting loaded in the hauler by pieces. But tough racing, but a very good race, especially down to the end. I told you that it's probably going to boil down to about the last 5 laps. I had some really good racing there toward the end, but you know, hey, things worked out the way they did, and good race.
You bet. And I'll tell you what, check the schedule out, etv-eplay.net. Some more racing coming your way. Tomorrow night, it's going to be the VSR ETV Live Nationwide Series live from Iowa Speedway. You don't want to miss that one. And then we're going to take a couple of nights off, Wednesday and Thursday night, back on Friday night in the saddle again, the Friday Night Showdown, sponsored by Gary Mercer Trucking. They'll be at Iowa as well. And then, of course, on Saturday night, the famed Super Speedway Series with the Harold Lowry Super Speedway Series with the veteran sim racers at Talladega. So tons of racing action coming your way. And then on May 20th, this is going to be at 1:20 in the afternoon, live from Sebring, Florida, 120 minutes of Sebring. Some awesome looking road racing stuff coming our way here on ETV Live. So etv-eplay.net, Cowboy. We're the only ones, the only choice you need to make for your broadcasting needs. So for that, I'll tell you what, Rick Donathan, Dakota Ehrman, Matthew Close, John the Bad Boy, the legend, Magic Fingers himself. I'll tell you what, we'll see you next time on ETV Live.
Thank you.